All right, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Last time, like I said, we were talking about ways entrepreneurs, and I threw in a few ways, even if you are a W-2 earner, you can achieve financial freedom. Um, let's see. And so we had the conversation, we got the conversation going. I think we covered a lot of ground. We talked about understanding your money. As always, that's always going to be one of the top go-to ways to start to achieve financial freedom. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he was talking about how he really wants to start analyzing his retirement accounts, spending more time being diligent on where he's putting his money. And that's the first sign that you're ready to start maneuvering your money in a way that you can be more financially free. That's the first way. People think it jumps from doing nothing to these big lavish things. No, it starts with kind of understanding what kind of money you have. Like, where's my money? Where's it coming from? I talk a lot about that in Money Management and Entrepreneurs. I purposely geared it towards entrepreneurs, but made the concept something that anyone can use. Last time I talked about when I worked at Dillard University, I used a lot of these principles that I teach now and that I talk about in the membership group, that I talk about in the books when I didn't even have a business, because the principles are the principles. Like Nicki Minaj, or I was watching a documentary, Nicki Minaj, that she was talking about how they would send a lot of money to Haiti. And this is when she was really, really down with cash money. And they would send a lot of money to Haiti in an effort to give back. The principles are the principles. Regardless of how you live your life, how you use your money, there are certain principles that allow you to create financial freedom. So that was one of the things that we talked about, which was understanding your money, understanding where you spend it, understanding where you make it. That's a big thing too. A lot of people don't know how much money they make, especially entrepreneurs. I mean, like I said last time, I've seen entrepreneurs make hundreds of thousands of dollars and thought they were under six figures. So understand that. Then have at least 3 streams of income. I spent a lot of time on that last time, so I'm not gonna spend as much time on that. Catch the podcast, watch the page for that one. But what I do want to talk about is how to bounce back. You remember? Well, maybe you don't. I'm from New Orleans, right? I always got to start with a cute little one too. Soulja Slim, a rapper named Soulja Slim, he used to have this song. So I really like a good trap rap. I like a gangster rap. I feel like if I wasn't in this life, I would be a gangster, probably like the head of a mafia family. I really do feel like that would be my calling, because I'm so good at maneuvering things. Thank God for the legal life, because Queen Pen. Anyway, with that said, Soulja Slim had this song called "I'm About to Bounce Back." I'm probably saying the title wrong, but it was like I'm about to bounce back. I'm about to bounce back. So that's what we're gonna start here. This we bouncing back. How you bounce back? How does that relate to financial freedom? So how it relates to financial freedom? People who don't have a successful mindset, when they encounter, I start getting all excited when I talk money. I'm getting chills and stuff. People who don't have a mindset for financial freedom and success, when they encounter failure, what happens is what? They quit. They say, oh my God, this isn't for me. I shouldn't be doing this. Who do I think I am to be able to do anything like this? On the flip side, people with a successful mindset will tell you that they failed over and over and over and over and over and over again before they encountered success. So, I got to give you a good rapper story, because when I tell you, I really do study the rappers. Mainly because I listen to them and I love documentaries. So I was watching something and Jay-Z said, well, it was about Jay-Z, but Rockaware, I don't know if you remember Rockaware. I wasn't even born when Rockaware was out. But Rockaware, they introduced it I forgot. They were wearing a lot of a brand. I can't remember what brand, and I don't want to throw nobody under the bus, but it was like a brand. They were wearing a ton of this brand. And so they were like, you know, we wear your brand all the time. Let's partner up. Like, people are buying more of your brand because we're wearing it. Let's partner up. And the brand declined them. That was a no. They didn't say, oh my God, we're just going to iceberg. Iceberg, that what? I think that is it. And they were wearing a ton of it. And it was like, you know, let's partner up. Let's do the thing. And the brand was like, absolutely not. We don't need you. You need us. They didn't quit. They didn't say, oh my God, we should stop rapping. We should just keep wearing iceberg. You know, we should keep wearing this brand because who's going to care about us? They told us no. What they did was, it was like, excuse me? So they created their own brand. That's a big, you know, a leap. However, they didn't just fall on the ground and die. JC also talked about how, you know, with deals and stuff, people didn't even take him seriously as a rapper. And now he's one of the wealthiest people, not just rappers, but people in the world. So the thing about a successful mindset, the thing about mindset is that you have to learn, and I heard this years ago, one thing is that you have to be able to be malleable, which is flexible. You have to know, okay, I was really hot on plan A. Plan A smacked me in my face, fell through. That happens sometimes, especially when you're trying to make big deals. It happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens. Do you quit? Do you stop? Or do you say, okay, why didn't this work? What could I have maneuvered better? What could I have understood a little more so that the next time I enter into this type of deal, or the next time I want to do this type of thing, and when I'm going to give an example, like if you're buying real estate. I had a deal with real estate that fell through. I didn't say, oh my God, I'm never going to buy real estate again. I felt it, you know, I was like, this is, you know, my nerves. I'm trying to be a whole conglomerate. No, what I said was, let me sit back. Let me see exactly what I want so I can have more passion, more zeal. Let me stack more paper so that certain things that happen, I don't have to negotiate. I can just move how I want to move. That is a successful person's mindset. Your ability to say, okay, they said no, this didn't work, but I'm going to keep going. That's why I always suggest that people have a lot of passion for what they do. Because if you don't have a lot of passion, when you start to hear no, you want to quit. So one of the things you can do, aside from the other things we talked about for financial freedom, is understand that you will get rejection. That things will fall apart. That things will not always work out perfectly, but they will work out the way they need to. And you should be able to keep going. You have to learn tenacity. You have to learn resilience. You have to learn how to reprogram your mind to think outside of the box, to see opportunities in rejection that other people can't see. So the Rockaware example. Should your passion be tied to your purpose? So let me come back to that. So the Rockaware example, they were like, okay, let's what could we do in order to still have a brand and wear it all the time? Because we see people wear what we want to wear. So you have to have a mindset where you can reprogram your mind to see opportunities even when other people see rejection and other people see failure. You have to reprogram your mind to where when everything is falling apart around you, you still see dollar signs, you still see growth, you still see success. That's the mindset you have to get, because, you know, during the pandemic, other people were like, oh my God, it's over. It's over. During the last hurricane that hit New Orleans, people were like, oh my God, it's over. My mind was like, how can I get this money? I call all my clients, and you can verify with them. I called them as soon as the pandemic, when we were about to shut down. I started calling everybody and saying, look here, this is what we need to do. We need to get certain things in place so that we don't miss a beat. That's the type of mindset you need to have. And something you can do, something that I do when things don't work out, I pour more money into investing in myself and into my knowledge. A lot of people don't want to do that. They want to buy things. I listen to podcasts, I go to conferences, I reach out to mentors, I meditate. Like, I pour a lot of time and effort into myself. And then I spoke about this last time, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Another thing that you can do to achieve financial freedom is you learn one new thing a year. I didn't spend a lot of time talking about it, but learn one new thing a year. So I have a financial background, clearly. And so some things I know, like I've taken investment classes. My minor and my PhD allowed me to gather a lot of accounting knowledge and things like that. However, I haven't become a master of certain things that are really great vehicles to make more money. So once a year, I said, okay, I'm going to learn more about leadership. I'm going to learn more about automation. No, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't do once a year. Every couple of months. I say I'm going to learn more about automation. Right now, automation is a big thing that I'm studying. The next thing is going to be, I'm really good at investing in the stock market. I want to be really great at investing in the stock market so that I can feel very confident maneuvering other people's money, and I'm eligible to get a license in it. So I want to become great at it. So pick one thing a year, at least, that you learn that can make you more money. I suggest that it builds on a skill that you already have, unless you just really want to try something different. But that's one thing successful people do is they read. And I had a post the other day, a man said, now I agree with all of this, but I can't read. Like he could read because he read but he was saying he doesn't like to sit down and read. Well, if you research successful people, they always talk about ingesting new knowledge. So if you don't like to sit and look at the words, which is big, audiobooks, podcasts, webinars, something to build your knowledge. How can you learn new things? Like just the fact that you're listening to this is helping you get to a new level. And then the last thing that successful people do is, and this is a big one, and I have people ask me about this one a lot. The last thing, not the last thing, but a big one that successful people do are people who achieve financial freedom. They're willing to take risk that other people aren't. They're willing to take risk with their money that other people aren't. They're willing to take risk with their time that other people aren't. They're willing to take risk with building something new that could fail, that could bomb, that other people are not. And then because on the back end, they're building their knowledge, they're constantly building their mental space, they're reading, they're understanding new things, their risks are more calculated than somebody else that's just saying, YOLO, I want to try something new. I don't know anything about it. So they take more calculated, understood risk. It's still a risk. I mean, you can have all the knowledge in the world and miss one thing, or it just wasn't your time. But they take more risk. Like I take more risk than most people that the Invisalign, y'all, you know I'm trying. I take more risk than most people that I know. I take more financial risk. I take more risk traveling. I take more risk in new things. I take more risk with the possibility of no. Because I know that if I don't try, it's not going to happen. So those are some of the big things that you can do to help you achieve financial freedom. This is for you. There's tons of things that, you can do that'll help you get closer to your financial goals. But these are the things that you can do directly to start opening up your life, your mind, and your pockets so you can achieve more financial freedom. So I saw a few questions. Somebody said, and ask your questions, should your passion be tied to your purpose? So when you first asked that question, my mind didn't wrap around how, if you're super passionate about something, how it's not a part of your purpose. This is just my feelings and opinions about it. I don't see how you can have zeal and passion for something that's not a part of your purpose. Now, your purpose could be to lead and to teach and to guide, which I feel is a big component of my purpose. And underlying help people understand that they can be financially free. I really do feel like I was put here and designed to help people understand that money is not just a foreign concept. But I like to cook sometimes. I like to create. So if you have a question about passion versus purpose, break it down into subcompartments or components. And what I mean by that is sometimes I like cooking. I realize it's not necessarily the food that I like to make. I like to create. I like to create new things. I am a creator. I was created to create. So I like coming up with recipes. I like revamping recipes and making it taste good. I like when I create a dish and people say, oh my God, this is good. Like I paint. Some people know that very well too. And it's because I like to create. I like to see the colors coming together. So in those moments, I am passionate about it. Some of those things I wouldn't want to do for money. I would want to do for the love of it and make money off of it where possible. So sometimes, you can be passionate about something and you think, oh, but I'm supposed to be doing this. And this thing could be opening space for you. Like when I paint, it opens space for me. It makes me feel good. When people see my paintings and they think that it's something that I purchased, it makes me feel good. Me feeling good helps my purpose. So I hope that answers the question. That's a great point. Time and effort into yourself. Made a note of this. Yes. You are really good about this because you are in the membership group. So pouring money in, sometimes we want a lot of the free stuff that is on social media and we think that's going to change our life. And it can be a catalyst to open us up. But there is a certain level of time and energy you must put into your growth. Like something I do. I pick my daughter up every day from school. You're like, okay, I do that too. But something I do that I know a lot of other people don't do. That's what I'm saying. I do things that other people don't do because my mind works different. I purposely get to my daughter's school early. Like sometimes an hour early, sometimes 30 minutes. But I get there early, one, to get a really good spot. And then the main reason is it is my reading time. If I sit here in my office, I'm going to work. If I walk around the house, I'm going to clean or cook or talk on the phone. So I leave here with, the only thing is my phone and my book. Now, I purposely don't play on my phone unless I'm working on it, but I use it as my reading time. It is my time to read. And you can read whatever you want. I'm currently, like I said, building on the understanding of automations. So I sit and I brainstorm, I write out notes as I'm reading, my mind expands, and I use that as my time. That is a time investment. I could be doing many other things. I could be talking on the phone with a boo. I could be jogging, which is good too. I could use that time to work out. I could go pick her up at the last minute. I could do something else. I purposely designed that time, I chose that time, picked that time, allotted that time as my reading time because I know if I'm somewhere else, I'm not going to do it. So that's a good point. Learn something new. Absolutely. We are supposed to be learning constantly. If you meet a miserable person that is unhappy and frustrated, it is because they stopped growing. Life happened to them and a part of them shut down. And I believe that. They stop growing in love. They stop growing in self-care. They stop growing in healing. They stop growing in forgiveness. They stop growing in money. A miserable person stays stagnant because all they can see is bitterness. So that's one reason to learn something new. Another reason is so when the opportunity presents itself, you don't get prepared once the opportunity is there. It's usually too late. People who are successful can take calculated risks because they've been preparing the entire time. Y'all don't want me to say my Beyonce story again. Choose one thing per year that builds on a skill set you already have. Yes, to generate more income. So I read a book, Good to Great, years ago that somebody was like, if you're going to work with us, you have to read this book. The book is very dense. It's not exciting to read, but it has great concepts. One of the things when they talk about Walgreens and Walmart and Procter and Gamble and all of these companies that's been around for years, is that when they create a new product, they don't say, or they do a new thing, they don't say, like Walgreens, something people notice, but they don't notice. Walgreens only buys, most of the time, except for in the East. I don't understand that. But for years, Walgreens would only buy property that was on a corner. And that was on purpose. So they would only buy property on a corner so that when a customer needed Walgreens, there were several ways that they could get into the Walgreens. So you didn't have no excuse to pass up Walgreens. This shit is brilliant. So they were like, we want to be on a corner, so there's access from here, 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 here. The one close to my house has 3 different ways you can access it. On a back street, on a main street, and on another main street. You ain't passing us up. Yeah, ain't no reason. They got a CVS on the other corner, but I'm going to Walgreens. I just like Walgreens. So they expand based on what they already do. Like Procter and Gamble, and I can't think of Johnson and Johnson. Which maybe, but when they create new things, they don't say, you know, we're gonna do cooking spoons. We're gonna do cooking spoons next. No, they stay in Kleenex, and I might be mixing up brands, don't judge me. But like if they already were doing Kleenex, they go from Kleenex to toilet tissue. If once they master, and then they master it. They don't just throw out a new product and leave it alone. And a lot of us can learn from that, including myself. They beat it into submission and make sure it works, and then they expand to paper towels, and then they expand to this. So they don't go Kleenex, cooking spoons, coffee. So understand that in order to generate more income and create financial freedom, build on something you already understand. It'll make it easier for you, and then now you have a base skill set that'll help you understand and help you become a master in it. Now you can spend time, you know, learning. Like if you were a car salesman and you decide to be a chef, you can do that. Like that might be a passion, you know. However, if you really want to move quickly, build on something you already know. Great way to tie in doing something you enjoy doing and pushes your purpose. Absolutely. So I don't believe in being in a box. What do you think about NFTs? So NFTs, I know a little bit about, and I'm learning. So something I do is that I won't completely invest in something until I feel that I have at least a better understanding on how to maneuver my money. What I see a lot of is, because investing is so hot right now, people are using different platforms and literally throwing away money. I don't believe in that. I told you I take calculated risk. So I do choose to use my money in a way where I can understand. And if I'm learning, I might start investing in it, but in small increments. Like when I first started investing in Bitcoin, I was a little nervous because I didn't research a lot of it. So I invested a tiny bit. And now that I've become a lot better, I've made quite a few dollars. I wish I would have done it when it was like $2 a share, but book recommendations. Of course, I have book recommendations. Depending on if you're still on here, tell me what you're trying to accomplish. So if you are understanding financial freedom, one of the books that I spent a lot of time, and I'm super proud of this book, Money Management Entrepreneurs, literally guides you through how to shift your understanding about money. All-time favorite of mine is my book, 21 Day Word Revolution. It really helps shift your mindset too. Mindset is going to be super important when it comes to making more money. Other books, Susie Orman. So Based on Your Name, Beads by Shanovia. I'm assuming you are female. Correct me if I'm wrong. Susie Orman came out with this book that I literally got excited about, and it's actually on my Instagram page as one of my book recommendations towards the top. I think it's Women in Money. Book changed my life. I read this book, it changed my life. I read it many years ago, maybe 13 years ago, when I was a little baby. And I went out and bought it for every woman in my family. Some women probably gave it away, they didn't read it, but the women that did were like, oh my God. It is a great read. It's thick. But you can read it in increments, and it talks about investing. I mean, it's a little dated, but the concepts are the same. Like it gives you a lot of the groundwork of how to shift things that you take for granted. So those would be 3 to help get you started. And I'll be putting book recommendations on my page. I also, in my bio, have a link, Bees by Shanova, and anyone else looking to start reading, where it says my favorite authors and my favorite reads. And it's one of the links in my bio. And it has a huge list of books that we'll be talking about inside of the money membership, that the members will be reading with me, and that we will be discussing. And I think I'm a little behind in discussing some books, but you know, that's what I would recommend. And there's a link, like you can just go through it, and you know, it'll bring you directly to Amazon to purchase it if it's something that tickles your fancy. And it's all of my favorite money books, leadership books, management books, understanding mindset books. So that's what I would recommend. All right, I think I answered everyone's question, and I do believe my daughter has cleaned up and hung up her clothes. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I pray as usual, and this will never cease to amaze me. There was a time, I'm still blown away by the fact that people listen to me, and am grateful for it. So you could have been anywhere this morning, especially in the morning. And for you to be here, let me know if this helps. Yes, I hope, I'm glad you're still here, so I give you your book recommendations. But have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I think understanding a new concept and talking about something that helps build your success mindset in the morning will help you maneuver through your day a lot differently. So yes, victorious. All right, I'll talk to y'all. So I'm gonna do this every morning. Well, not every morning, like Monday through Thursday. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.